Hello, trading is closed on September 11th, 2019. We'll go over our calls. Thought we had a good chance of gapping down. That didn't happen. Look for the pattern with the early high. That's what we got. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. Thought yesterday's low would hold, and so far it did. Today's pattern generates a new target. We gap up. I'm not predicting it will print within its preferred time frame, which is by early Friday. We don't gap up. That's my target. I know futures are up. Be aware of these numbers. Equivalents of printed in futures, but until they print in regular trading hours, they still remain unsatisfied according to the rules. During the day, MEJT said this rally would retrace, said this drop would retrace. That's already happened. Also says the whole rally is going to retrace to this line, 29.8372. If we gap up, it probably won't happen within its preferred time frame, but should happen at some point. This is 2 days straight. We've had a wall into the close with a high of day right at the close. Someone else has a rule which has worked in the past that says we're not going to get a straight line advance like this tomorrow the way we did today. So we'll have to see what we get instead if that rule works. Here's what we said. We got the early high. Didn't get the gap. That didn't work. Low of day held. Still have this picture. Breadth's improving. Market leaders aren't. It's hard to get a sustained advance without the leaders leading the way. Doesn't mean you won't go higher. Just means I don't think it's going to be a rip-roaring rally until that changes. Current thinking is this line is going to hold. This is one of my targets, my favorite target for the end of the move. Doesn't mean we'll see it tomorrow, but I think this line for support is going to hold and eventually could go much higher. We did break through this blue line. We didn't gap over it, and you would expect at some point, not necessarily tomorrow, we're going to return to that line. The line's right now about 3,000, so that's not really too tough to do, even though futures are up. We do have again fan line 2 by 1 right over here. We also have the Hobson close and the wall into the close. If we didn't know futures are up, we think there'd be a good chance that resistance would hold. Sure doesn't look now like we're going to reverse overnight, but if we do, there's the explanation. So, Thursday's pattern has the early low. Doesn't mean you won't gap up. We don't drop it. First hour or two, it tends to be a positive day. Dropping big early seems to be off the table because of futures, but if it happens, it's pretty negative. Not saying it'll happen. Breadth continues to improve. Market leaders continue to be weak. Think the rally has further to go, but it should be limited. There should be a retracement at some point. I don't think without market leadership, it's just going to go straight up. Unless we gap up smartly, there's an argument for dropping early. If we do drop, I think the lower MEJT target will print, and then the rally will continue. I don't think it's over. If we just gap up, the advance should continue. People trading overnight should be aware that 2 MEJT targets from earlier are printed, and there's resistance over them. The numbers remain on the table till they're seen in regular trading hours. People who have my book should look up the rule on page 120. Futures have already seen these numbers print, and there's resistance over the numbers. Doesn't mean it has to hold. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. Absent a big drop early, which seems off the table, it should be a positive day. I think the rally is further to go, but it isn't sell the house and mortgage the property and go as long as possible, because at some point I think we're going to retrace, because without leadership, I think the rally, even though it should go higher, is going to be limited somewhat without leadership, and that's today's call.